Welcome, and thank you for joining us today to preview ERA's new eDATA PT portal, which launches on February 16, 2015. This is the first of two webinars to preview eDATA 2.0. Today, we'll be looking at basic navigation of the site and the four-step PT process. A second webinar will be held February 10th with Lisa McCombie to take a deeper look at some of the enhanced PT management features and how to use eDATA to get more information out of your PT program. The webinar is part of a larger program to help our customers make a smooth transition to using the new system. Additional resources and how-to information to help you navigate eDATA 2.0 will be available on our website www.eraqc.com when the new system launches on February 16th. Please note that the site that we're previewing today is still in the testing phase and is being presented from an internal QA server used for programming and testing purposes. As a result, navigating and opening pages within the site today will be slower than it will be after the software has been completed and migrated over to ERA's main production servers. About eDATA. ERA greatly improved our customers' PT experience when we first introduced the innovative eDATA portal in the early 2000s. Over time, updated features were added in response to customer needs and changing requirements, which added some complexity for those navigating the site. The eDATA 2.0 site you'll see today is the result of a three-phase project to improve the speed and use of eDATA by optimizing the back-end technology and PT workflow, and to provide enhanced tools for QA managers. With that, let's take a sneak peek at eDATA 2.0. To log in, visit www.eraqc.com and click on the eDATA login link in the upper right-hand corner. Since we're going to be working today in the QA site, I've already opened up a URL for the QA site. Now to log in, you can enter either your ERA customer number or your NPDES permit number and password. If you need to retrieve your password, you can click the Forgot Password link. To retrieve your password, you'll need to enter your customer number and email, and if the email is registered with ERA, it'll send it to you via email. You can then change the password once inside eDATA from the Customer Information drop-down menu. I'm going to return to login and enter my customer information. Once you've entered your valid login, an attestation statement will appear as required by the US EPA National Standards for Water Proficiency Testing Studies criteria. You'll need to accept the attestation statement to proceed, or you'll exit the portal. Once you have logged into your account and have agreed to the attestation statement, you'll land at your eDATA home screen and your eDATA PT dashboard. The PT dashboard is your main hub in eDATA that gives you a quick overview of critical items, such as your current open enrolled studies, and provides quick access to data entry confirmations, closed studies, performance reports, and other critical information. The study panels show your open enrolled studies in chronological order, starting with the study with the nearest closing date. And it also shows you how long you have until the study closes. You can quickly see what you have completed to date in the PT process and the outstanding work that needs to be completed using the blue status bar. The text beneath your status bar shows how many steps out of 4 you have already completed. The large green icons allow you to quickly navigate back to the portion of the PT process where you left off. Once a study is closed, it moves to the recently closed study section of your dashboard. And this provides a quick link to your study reports. Your enrolled studies that have not opened yet are listed on the dashboard in the upcoming studies section. And this allows you to set a reminder for the study open date right in your Microsoft Outlook calendar. The top menu provides easy access links to detailed pages for all of your open and closed studies, reports, where you can access performance reports, training tools, and other useful tools, statistics, where you can access the overall statistics for a given study, and Resources, where you can access other useful links and information pertinent to your PT program. If you need information on a specific study, a search bar allows you to quickly find the specific study you're looking for. You can also access and manage your account information or password via a drop-down in the upper right-hand corner. Now, before we begin working on one of our open studies, let's take a look at our account information via this drop-down box. So we'll click on Customer Information. And once we're in the Customer Information menu, you can expand the drop-down sections to review, edit, or delete the information for your account. In this case, Audrey Cornell from ERA's PT group is listed as the primary contact for the lab. This can be changed using the Edit icon. Once you're in the Edit screen, select or deselect the primary contact using the selection boxes. I'm going to cancel this because I'd like to not make any changes. So here you can see the other information that you can change via the drop-down boxes. You can change your mailing address, your laboratory location address, permittee mailing, physical addresses. You can change your third parties, and also your delivery preferences. Now, to help you navigate eDATA easier, we've added selectable breadcrumbs at the top of each screen so that you can see where you are and easily back up to another level of the site. Now, I'm going to use this function to back up to my dashboard on the home page. So now that we've had an overview of the landing page and how to manage our account, I'm going to walk you through completing the 4-step PT process using eDATA 2.0. Since the open studies on the dashboard panel are already partially completed, I'm going to go to step 1 of one of our open studies via the Open Studies tab. The Open Studies page displays our currently open studies. The drop-down filters allow you to filter your open studies by either the nearest closing date or study type. So in this case, I would like to look at my next closing study. So I'll sort by date. The status bar shows the progress we've already made towards the completion of each of the steps of an open study. And you can access each step from this menu by clicking on the text below the status bar for the step you'd like to go to. So to go to step 1, I'm going to click on Enter Mailing Address and begin the PT process. So step 1, Enter Mailing Address. This allows you to confirm or edit your primary contact and mailing address for this study. The section is pre-populated with your primary contact information that we saw when we looked at the customer information page. When editing fields within eDATA, you can use the Tab key to advance to the next field. Once you have reviewed your contact information, made any changes, or verified, you can click Save and Continue. And once you click this, a dialog box will pop up, giving you the option of making this your default information or not. Once you've made your selection, you'll advance to step 2. Step 2 of the process allows you to manage your agencies and third parties for reporting this study. Agencies you've previously used are listed first and pre-populated with your ID. Agencies are not selected for you, as this is part of the PT process. You will also have the option of selecting no agencies required if you do not wish to report your study results to any agencies. So in this case, I would like to report to A2LA and the state of Alabama. If you would like to look up an agency lookup list is provided under the Resources tab. Here you can see the address and contact information of the agencies in the system. If applicable, you can also include third parties for reporting. You can add third parties or edit your list using the edit or delete icons. I'm going to cancel that. Here's the icon to add a third party. Once you've entered your information, you can click Save, and it'll save it to your third party list. You're going to hit Cancel. So once you've made your selections, you can review and verify your reporting summary using this button. When you're ready to advance to the next step, click Save and Continue to advance to the third step in the PT process, entering your PT data. Step 3 begins with a list of the standards you're enrolled in for the study. The X icon denotes that nothing has been completed for a given standard, and check marks indicate that you have reported data for that standard. If you have previously set up a data export for reporting to eDATA, you can click on the Csv Data Upload to select and upload your data file. Once in the CSV Upload menu, you can choose your file format and select your file that you've previously created. Now in this case, we're not going to upload a CSV, but I did want to show you this functionality is available. We will be covering how to set up an upload in an upcoming webinar. So let's go back to our data entry screens. To manually report your data, select the standard you'd like to enter the data for and proceed to the data entry page. So in this case, we're going to click on pH. So as you can see, I've already started entering some data for this sample. When entering our PT results, you have the option of reporting by analyte if analytes requiring different analytical techniques are included in a single standard, such as demand that includes TOC, BOD, and COD. Or if all the analytes can be reported from a single technique, such as trace metals, you can report your method by standard, which allows you to enter the method once for all of your analytes. So here we're in the Report Data by Analyte menu. If you click on this radial box, it will take you to the Report Data by Standard, where you can enter your method once, and it will report for all of the analytes that are provided. Since we only have one analyte on this list, you're only seeing the one analyte for pH. Now let's go back and take a look at entering this data. So here you report your results. So let's change this to 7.42, reporting to 3 significant figures. In terms of the method, to change it, start typing your method, and then you can select from the options. So here we'll select the 2000 version of standard method 4500. You can click on the revision, and notice that the NELAC code and the technology will automatically populate. Now if the NELAC code does not apply, you can click on the NELAC code not required box. Click on the Analysis Date field to select the appropriate date from the calendar. Once you've entered the required information, you can choose to record optional data using the drop-down arrow. So these optional fields allow you to record additional details for each of your results, including the analyst, SOP, and revision number that can later be used for demonstration of capability purposes using the new management tools built into eDATA 2.0. These will be covered in our second webinar on February 10th. When you've finished entering your data, you can generate a summary for review. So let's generate a summary of the data we've entered. So here's our data entry summary for this standard. And once you have reviewed or printed your summary for your records, you can return to the Standards menu to continue with your data entry. So once back at the standards list, you can continue entering your data for each of your standards by clicking on each of your standards. Now, if you have a large number of standards, like we have in this study, you can filter your list by incomplete to show only the standards you haven't completed yet. You can also filter by name to list in alphabetical order, or you can put it to the default filter. You can also email or view a study summary from the Standards List menu by clicking these buttons. Once you have completed your data entry, you have the option of completing Step 4, which allows you to customize your agencies. This is a feature that very few of our customers require, so we'll take a very quick look at this step. This optional Step 4 allows you to customize which data you would like reported to each of the agencies you selected in Step 2. Unless you complete this selection with any special reporting, all of your data will be reported to all of the agencies and third parties that you entered in Step 2. In most cases, this is what is required. For most studies, most customers will not complete this step. If you do have questions about completing and customizing your reporting requirements to your various agencies, please contact ERA's PT group and I'll provide their contact information following the webinar. So let's go back to the data entry menu. Now once you've completed your data entry, you can use either the button provided to return to your open studies, or you can use the breadcrumbs at the top of the page to return to the home, or you can also click on the eDATA logo at any time to return to the home screen in your PT dashboard. And with that, we have completed the process of reporting data for an open study. Thank you very much for attending today's presentation on basic navigation and completing the 4-step process to completing a PT study in eDATA 2.0. This webinar has been recorded and will be posted on our website, www.eraqc.com. All of what we covered today, as well as the additional functionality that will be reviewed during our second webinar on February 10th, will be provided in a user's manual that will be available on eraqc.com when the new eDATA system launches on February 16th. If you have any questions about eDATA, please don't hesitate to contact the ERA PT group or your sales representative for further information. You can reach them by email at info@eraqc.com or by phone at 1-800-372-0122. I'd like to thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to presenting the second in this webinar series to you on February 10th.